What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reacting to more JJ plagiarisms. I reacted to a video of him before, criticizing the Bad Batch and how I disagree with his opinion totally. But I stumbled upon another video of his that is very, very controversial. Empire Strikes Back is overrated. Now, okay, Empire Strikes Back is overrated. It's not very, very uncontroversial these days. I mean, like, The Empire Strikes Back used to be on everyone's number one, but now Revenge of the Sith has gotten it up to a lot of number one spots, and probably like a few other movies, you know. So it's not all Empire Strikes Back, but there's a few things he says in this video which are very, very controversial. So let's watch this thing.
Empire Strikes Back is considered to be the best Star Wars movie, apparently. I don't agree. If you've seen my...
Okay, so first of all, I just want to say, you know, you are free to have your own opinion, but I just don't agree with his reasons here. I don't think he really had so much of a reason to, criticize Empire Strikes Back in that kind of manner. Empire Strikes Back is my favorite Star Wars film. It's like one of the first ones I've watched. I feel like I'm like really old when I say that. Let's watch this.
Review of Empire Strikes Back and my final ranking in the Rise of Skywalker
Oh,
review.
whoa. Yeah, this is very, very, very controversial. Let's go over here. Are you kidding me right now? Like, seriously. Okay, number one, Revenge of the Sith. Okay, that's okay. That's pretty agreed upon. And number two, A New Hope. Okay, that's fine. Number three, Return of the Jedi. What to put as number three? Where I at? Oh, I did put it number three. I disagree with myself. I don't think Return of the Jedi is number three worthy. But okay, I can agree with that one, I guess. So then, number four, I'd definitely say Empire. Phantom Menace. No. Phantom Menace is no, and Attack of the Clones are nowhere near Empire. Then Empire's behind it, and then all the sequels, all the Disney movies. Why are you be so mean on the Disney movies? They're not all bad, man. Come on. He gives Disney a little bit too bad of a rap. Come on. Rogue One, Force Awakens, Rise of Skywalker, Solo, Last Jedi. Okay, loads of people hate Solo or Last Jedi, so I'm not surprised they puts it in number last place. It's Solo. Can that really be? I don't think Rise of Skywalker is anywhere near as good as Solo. So I think Solo is probably my favorite. This is my favorite is my favorite Disney movie, to be honest. Second last, nowhere near that. No. Aside from Episode 3 and this originals, I think Solo is probably the best Star Wars movie. But I think, well, whatever. It's things like fifth. Okay, I'm just throwing it out there. I love that movie. Okay, I'm just saying. We have a very controversial list.
Empire was the least impressive of the original 6 Lucas Star Wars films. And that got me thinking, how could Empire Strikes Back be the lowest scored of the OG 6? Keep in mind, OT fanatics are the one that bloat this film up above everything else. And Empire Strikes Back also happens to be the Star Wars film that George Lucas had the least to do with. So the point I'm bringing up is that Empire Strikes Back is the weakest of the original 6 movies instead of being the best one. I mean, we have Revenge of the Sith, which is the actual best. I originally expected Empire Strikes Back to be like number 3, but through analysis, Empire got knocked back by some stiff competition and ended up being the weakest. And I'm not ashamed. It's the opposite of the sentiment OT fanboys have about Empire being the best and the true way to make a Star Wars movie, and that the prequels suck and blah 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 blah. So yeah, looking at it objectively, Empire is actually the weakest. So let's look at why this movie is praised.
God almighty, this guy seems so whiny. He's also so negative, man. I swear, I just hate him. Just the way he talks is annoys me every time I watch him. He just always seems so negative. Like, he's just talking in this really annoying tone.
Personal reasons for it being the weakest can be bogged down to different reasons. Well, first, it's the least eventful of the OG 6. The Phantom Menace sets up the saga and the roots of everything. Attack of the...
No, that's episode 4, man. Man, that's episode 4. The Phantom Menace is a prequel. Like, okay, it's episode 1, but... Dude, if you cut Phantom Menace out of the picture, nothing changes. Okay, fine. A lot of events did happen there, but, like... Other than the final Darth Maul fight, nothing, like, you can just cut the whole episode 1 out of your viewing order, nothing really changes. Like I wish episode 1 was just brought back in some flashbacks, or maybe we got like a TV show, or like a little mini series, or a spin off that put in that for the events of episode 1. Just I really wish, and there's like a mini movie in between episode 2 and 3, so like episode 2 could be the real episode 1. Whatever, that's a discussion for a whole other day.
Clones details the
Put it over
origins
here.
of the Clone Wars. Revenge of the Sith is the most eventful and details the rise of the Empire and the end of the Clone Wars. A New Hope details the first major victory the Rebellion had, and Return of the Jedi details the end of the Galactic Civil War and the change in power. Looking at Empire Strikes Back, the least happens in it. It's the most like a side story. Sure, a
Least
lot happens.
Really, you know that big reveal, like Luke's his father, Han gets frozen in carbonite, Luke gets trained by Yoda, and everything. Yoda's introduced as a character. There's a big, you know, it's kind of like the middle part. The heroes lose, so it makes the final victory more satisfying. Like, come on, if they just had 2 victories and there's just one, those 2 movies, it would be so much less satisfying. Empire, okay, well, even if it's not that, whatever. I love Empire. Okay, come on, you can't diss Empire like that.
The characters, but event-wise, it's quite lacking. The Imperial attack on Hoth feels like it could have been in a comic, and nobody would have batted an eye. And the attack itself doesn't do that much, since the rebels regroup by the end. And it also has the least interesting title of the OG6. It expands the universe, but the events happening in the present isn't very interesting. Since it will come up, the twist is insanely overrated, and I can't speak for it, because of the countless dickheads who spoiled it online when I first learned to use a computer. Thanks a lot. Point is, when a plot point or twist becomes so iconic, it dates so poorly. Just like Planet of the Apes, it's outright impossible to not spoil the I am your father plot.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of hard. But, like, it's not the movie's fault, though. Like, the movie, on its original viewing in 1980, audience was probably blown away at this reveal, but now it's just, it's kind of the movie's fault. Like, these movies are so good, so everybody knows them, everyone's watched them, everyone has seen them. It's kind of people's fault, not the movie's fault, or George Lucas's fault, or Disney's fault for why everyone knows this quote. Everyone just knows it, you know? Unfortunately, I guess the surprise is kind of ruined. Unfortunately, I do not remember what my first reaction was to seeing this movie. I don't know how I thought about Luke being Vader's father. I might not even understood it at the time. Man, that was stupid.
Twist. You really need to live in an isolated cult with zero internet to not have it spoiled. But I bet Star Wars is a very anti-cult movie franchise to show indoctrinated children in the cult. Speaking of movie moments, this movie is insanely cheesy. Scruffy looking nerf herder and an average romance that has been too overbloated. This romance...
You're complaining about this romance. What about episode 2's romance, man? You don't think that's a little bit too, corny or cheesy? Really, man? The dialogue in the prequels are absolute dreadful. Okay, the dialogue in episode 4, 5, and 6 weren't the best, but, like, still, you still have some iconic lines and stuff, and even the dialogue in the prequels, I'm saying they were bad, but, like, they were the good type of bad. Let's be honest. Okay, like, you can meme in episode 1, 2, and 3 so much. Not as much as episode 1, but like episode 2 and 3, come on. You meme on those movies all the time.
Trope has been done to death. You seen how many Han Solos are out there now? Maybe it stood out for its time, but it's dated today. Plus, I don't think the Han and Leia side of the story, as in escaping the Empire on the Millennium Falcon, is very interesting. When we're dedicating this film to a lot of the same, it doesn't make it very intriguing. Whenever I think of Empire, I tend to forget the long chase sequence at face value, and Dagobah and Hoth aren't interesting as locations. Let's start with Hoth. Hoth has no other purpose than to be the location of the rebel base, and while it's a new terrain, I really am not interested in it, as said in my initial review. I've said Dagobah was eerie and mysterious.
Really? Come on, you can't forget Dagobah Hoth. Okay, come on. This is just annoying. Why isn't it interesting? Why isn't Hoth interesting? It's a really cool ice planet. The beginning is so, like, intense when Luke's like faced the Wampa Pit and like he nearly freaking dies. Then Obi-Wan just comes and tells him to find Yoda or something, and then man, come on. Something else I was gonna say. The chase scene. Okay, I understand that. That's probably the worst part about the movie. It wasn't that bad in my opinion. Um, but yeah, it was pretty annoying. But we got closer with the characters and everything, so it's not that bad. But I do agree with you. Was not the best seeing those characters run around the Falcon for like half of the movie. I understand that.
Which is great for atmosphere, but on the surface, it also isn't that interesting. I rarely am one for swamps. They just aren't interesting. And there isn't much to this planet aside from the intriguing dark side cave. Then we've got Yoda, another example of an overbloated aspect. Yoda isn't that compelling as a character in this movie. Just like everything else, Yoda was spoiled with me, and the backwards talking and everything isn't quite for my taste. And we're also shown a nuded fraction of his power when he lifts the X-Wing. That's really it. It's really the prequels where the character shines. Where we get to
Really?
see him.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Man, look, I rather Yoda in episode 5, to be honest. Okay, like, yeah, Yoda can go around with a lightsaber and looks funny and everything, and I understand that and how you might like it, but I mean, I just kind of like how Yoda describes the Force in episode 5. I haven't watched episode 5 in a while, so I forget how Yoda describes the Force, but I always remember loving Yoda in episode 5. Okay, he was just so mysterious, so goofy at first, and then he turned out to be a Grand Jedi Master, and didn't really know his power or anything. But like, just him using the lightsaber just doesn't really feel right, you know what I mean? But whatever. I kind of wish JJ Plagiarisms would make a response to me, just because I can make another video on that, and then you can the series can keep going, and I can actually have an interaction with another YouTuber instead of just sitting here by myself. And then Grace does some videos with me and my freaking sister. That's just so lame. That's just so lame. I want to interact with other YouTubers.
Use a lightsaber and pull off these incredible stunts with Christopher Lee in Attack of the Clones. That's a real achievement. Bespin is actually pretty good, and Lando is excellent. The new cast members are brilliant, especially Billy D. Williams, but this movie is just so dated as mentioned before. It has the villain kills his own men cliche, which doesn't work most of the time, because it makes no sense. It just makes the villain come off as arrogant, and thinking it from a strategic perspective...
Oh, shut up! Shut up! You know, actually, I think that's actually okay. Fine. Oh my god, arrogant. It makes them okay. I understand why people might not understand that, but man, look, it makes Vader look threatening. You don't want to disobey Vader. Okay, you need to follow your orders. Vader is saying like, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you will get choked, and he actually will kill you if you don't do what you're supposed to do. Okay, and like, I just think that's a good strategy. You know, Vader. You know, doing those things, doing those things.
Learning that failure means death, it would lower morale and probably cause defection or desertion. I think the war thing was done way better in the prequel films because we're free from this cliche unless you count Order 66 or the Separatists, but it's done in a way where it makes narrative sense and Palpatine has a reason to do it. But this cliche is something Disney has really embraced, and this shit happens for no reason. Take the first episode of Star Wars Rebels.
First Jedi you've ever seen, sir?
Jesus! Callus, have a little compassion. You and this random stormtrooper
They're evil!
stranded, and you decide to lower your chance of survival by kicking this guy off for trying to light the mood?
How is that
Shame on
Stormtrooper
you.
going to save
But
Callus's
what
life?
can you expect from Disney? It's just Rebels good, Empire bad, except for Rogue One, but that's a different story. Shit like this is why I prefer the Lucas era content, because they know where to draw the line. That's another thing. A lot of Disney-fied Imperial stuff is based on this movie, especially the lazy attempts to make the Empire evil by doing evil stuff without regard for why anyone would follow the Empire if they publicly do this. The Death Star was a catalyst for defection as it is. So why is the Empire doing stuff they don't need to? It just detaches you from reality. Even the music is dated. I've heard it a million times. The Imperial March has worn off its welcome after the first 50...
Okay, I understand that the music of this film is being showed a million times, but like, it's good. Okay, like, what else do I have to tell you? I like the music of this movie. If any music gets showed to you a million times, it's gonna get annoying after a while. Okay, any music. Okay. Oh man, I don't agree with this movie feeling dated. Okay, fine. In your my offense, in your okay, it's offending you. I think think kind of all this original trilogy kind of feels a little bit dated to me. Not that much dated, but a little bit dated. Okay, I kind of feel like all movies after like they get like over like 20 years old are gonna start feeling dated just because technology improves and all that. But it doesn't feel that dated to me. And the originals don't even feel that dated. Like the prequels feel as dated as the originals, in my opinion. Whatever. And the sequel trilogy doesn't feel dated at all, because they're like pretty new. So yeah.
1,000 times I heard it. Revenge of the Sith's music is timeless, but the soundtrack for Empire Strikes Back just needs to stop being played. I've gotten sick of it. It's not bad, but goddamn, I'm just sick to death of hearing it all the damn time. Just put on Battle of the Heroes for once. Okay, I need to calm down. Overall, I think the reason Empire Strikes Back isn't that good is because it's just dated. The story is dated, the music is dated, and the concept have just been done to death. And pop culture afterwards really needs to stop mimicking this movie. This movie has been overblown, and that's what I really hate. People just reference this movie way too much, and it's just lowered my perception of the film. And there's also the fact that it's just not that great. The locations like Dagobah and Hoth aren't very impressive. I'm sorry, it's just not that good. It's hard for me to explain why the movie is overrated beyond that. People just tout this as the best movie ever, when really it's not that at all. Maybe this can be a foothold for the argument that this movie has been blown way out of proportion. I'm JJ Plagiarisms. And until next time, what are stories from mystery boxes?
Whatever. I don't agree with you at all. Oh wow, look, the dumbass Jedi Academy book exists. That'll be a reaction video for another day. Man, I'm gonna get so much reaction videos out. JJ Plagiarisms. You know, thanks JJ Plagiarisms. You're so annoying to me. You're so against the popular perception of movies and TV shows about Star Wars and stuff that, you know, I can just react to your videos like for forever. You know, this is awesome. I'm making no sense right now. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you did smash the like button, I'm gonna be like, ooh, I'm gonna get bigger. Can it work? Yeah. Sometimes I get messed up. There we go, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did smash the like button, and if you do smash the like button, it means you like this video. Yeah, thanks. Bye.